You asked for it, you get it. Ryu and I will rip your photos into smithereens. Hold on to your headphones. Here comes the pain.
Matt just woke up, so it's gonna take some time for him to get going. But apparently, he has some coffee. You haven't wait, having coffee now, or you just made one? You're
Right now.
drinking. Oh, he's drinking right now. So I'm gonna start off because it takes time sometimes. Um, I did actually post the invite to Training Ground on Facebook, and if I don't know, like if it's something that you guys want to just kind of be part of, just being in a live thing, you can obviously come and say hi to us and just tell us like what's going on. Um, and it might be that if you are participating and if you have one of your photos on Training Ground, it'd be nice for you to actually, I don't know, maybe defend it when we're actually basically talking shit about your photo. You don't have to, but I think it'll be interesting. Or if we think that it's really worth just kind of talking about, if it's a really really good photo, and we basically know when it's a very very good one, we just kind of dismiss it because it doesn't really have to be in Training Ground. Then you can just kind of give us briefly like what how you shot it or something. I don't think it's gonna happen, but you never know, But I sent the invite on Facebook on our Facebook page just now. I doubt people will actually will do it, but if it's something that you guys are going to be interested in the future, I will leave the invitation out there so you guys will always be able to just kind of pop in and just like join in the conversation. But yeah, let's leave the criticism to us, and you can be nice to other people if you want to, or yourself.
All right.
So let's start off with Toyin. I
This doesn't
Well,
need
I
to
don't
be
really
here.
mind. This doesn't be there. Huh? Do you care? I mean, it doesn't have to be here. It's
No, it
normal.
doesn't. It doesn't need to be here.
Yeah. So we're gonna say goodbye to Toyin. We did have people who did say that we want to have more comments on the negligent, well, not negligent, but the photos that doesn't need to be here. But as you may well know, Training Ground is for people who want, us to look at photos that you've tried different technique or you've just started shooting sports photography, and not for people who, want
Yeah,
praise for their
there's a
photos.
reason. There's a reason for this, and it comes up like once a year or something. But there used to be people that put pictures into Training Ground so that we would say nice things about them. We have places. We have the competitions. We have, uh, well, not the competition. We have master class where you can show us that you're listening and that you can make pictures based on the challenges that we put out there. Training Ground is for pictures that there's something wrong with, that you're trying to get better, or you're trying something that you haven't tried before. It's not a place to come for positive reinforcement. That's just, it has not worked out. We've tried it. We're not doing it.
No, because positive reinforcement, you fucking get those shit every day in life. So let's fuck that. What? I think Reed should really stop taking pictures of bicycle. I honestly do. But this is absolutely fine. I mean, the skies are blown out, but I think he either did it post or he metered it towards the rider rather than the sky, and it's fine.
It's not this. It's not the sky. It's the super pipe in the background. It's snow
Oh, okay.
because you can see the blue lines for the perspective of the rider.
Ah, but
So he's coming up to the lip, grabbing his board, and looking to go back down. Either way, this is okay. Um, the I mean, for me, it's fine. The standard for stuff like this is you want to show kind of like a sense of
scale.
proportion. Yeah, you want to get some. It's kind of disorienting how it is, which again doesn't bother me at all. But
No, doesn't bother me either.
the
I think it's cool. It
like
doesn't.
the default
Doesn't matter.
aesthetic of extreme sports kind of thing is that you want to have a little bit more. Um, I guess the idea is that if you shot like this all the time, nowhere would look any different than anywhere else. So you kind of want to get the background in there, or show how big the pipe is or how much air he got coming out of it. But as this is, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't. I really got. I think I like the fact that I can't really know like which way is up and which way is down. I think it's a very very good thing. Um, yeah, it's strange, huh? With Reed, it's it's up and down. This is up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't mind
this is
this
fine
either.
too.
It's a lot of fines
Three
today.
in a row of pictures that don't need to be here. It's not good.
Uh,
All right.
hmm. I've seen variations of this like a lot. It's one of those things that people do because you kind of get bored of just taking normal basketball shots. You just want to go for the shots that there's a lot of hands involved. But to me, with these things, I want to see a lot more than just 4 or 3 for
Well, it
that
doesn't.
matter. Really.
To me, it doesn't matter how many hands there are. These kind of shots have to be absolutely perfect. And when you have, like, okay, let's look for a good example of this. The lower right hand corner, where you have one of the cross beams from the roof. Um, this kind of shot has to be like exactly parallel or exactly perpendicular to everything in the frame. It can't be sloppy because there's not enough action and the lighting is really bad. All of those things have to be perfect. So you have like a little bit of the cross beam on that side, and then on the other side you have a lot of one light and a little bit of another light, and then there's a light that's out. Um, that's not good. You can't make a picture like this and have all of those kind of they're like loose ends or something, and it doesn't work, and it's not, the picture itself isn't interesting enough. So it really has to be like super perfect. Everything else has to be parallel, perpendicular. The lighting has to be better than this. This just doesn't look like the kind of place that you would try this kind of picture.
I mean, it's I'm kind yeah, I kind of agree and I kind of don't agree. Just the fact that like I like these photos when it's done very very well. Like I've seen like ones with like just a lot of hands, like just probably like 4 players going up for the ball. And from what I remember, like all my eyes were really going towards those hands and the ball, and that was it. But the thing is, like, I do see the basket, which it's not a matter of the fact that it's like taking up a lot of the portion of the image. I don't think that makes any difference. Because the fact that like if there are a lot more going on with this particular image, my eyes would be drawn in automatically to that. But that's not the case over here. There's just like there's too little going on. Like for me, like it's just we need more hands for this one. I do completely agree with Matt on the fact that like the lights on the left is really, really annoying to me. Like that's just so annoying. Um, and I mean, like if you really want to get this kind of shot, all you have to make sure the composition is perfect. You have to make sure there's nothing that's really distracting the viewer's eyes from it, such as the bright lights. And I think portion the basket as well, because you have to like see that do you really need that basket to be there? And in a way, to just kind of prove that it's basketball, yes. But if it's overwhelmingly good, the image of the hands and the ball, then you should really just concentrate on the ball in the hand, which is not so easy because if you have kind of zoomed in on the hand and the ball, it's very difficult to really kind of keep track and get a shot like that because the fact is it's wider, it's a lot easier to focus, and therein lies basically the problem that if you want to get a shot just with hands, you have to really go for it every single time you have this particular action going on, which is people going on for rebounds. And if you get them, I think it will be a very, very good shot. But it is very, very difficult because it's something very, very close to you. And basketball is moving. There's a lot of like, movements, southwest, north, south, and east, west. And that is very, very difficult to track, especially when it's that close to you. So I would like to see it again, but I like to see it like tighter. Or Matt said, I like to have it like everything has to be like perpendicular, everything has to be straight. All the things has to basically work out. For lighting thing, I don't, it's fucking shitty, Jim. What are you gonna do, But yeah, I hope that he's gonna actually come back in and actually do this again. But from what, based on like what we just talked about, that'd be nice to see.
No.
No. I love to just like see that. I didn't even actually realize that the tires were bent until just now, which is bad.
Right, but
Which
I
is really bad.
mean, that would be an interesting. It's not bent. It's the tube is off of the, the wheel is
Oh
fine.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's the tube that's off. Um. So, but the problem is that the best part of the picture is that, and you can't tell what's going on because it's against his body.
Yeah, that's be from the side.
So yeah, this picture would have to be from the side, but even then, I don't really know how close you could get. But these backgrounds are bad and they're careless, and you have to do something about those.
I mean, you can understand that like he's walking towards the goal, but like that's like the least of interesting thing. I think the most interesting thing is the fact that the tires have come off the wheel and he's walking. You know, but I think he
Right,
wanted to really show that he was walking towards the goal, right? That's like I guess that's
right,
his intention.
yeah, that's fine and it's a good instinct, but you can't do it like this. It can't be like he's too far away from you so that when you're focusing on him, the background, you can see those people just standing around and the camera guys or whatever, and some of them have the bright yellow on and those sponsor flags or whatever. Like you can't you can have like an incredible action picture and have that kind of stuff going on in the background because that's just how it is. You can't have like this quiet, thoughtful, the struggle of, bike racing kind of picture with that stuff in the background. You just have to figure out how to get closer and minimize the background and figure out a way to not lose the most important part of the picture against the guy's jersey. It just doesn't, from top to bottom, it doesn't work.
I was just kind of thinking if it was a lot wider, if he was the only guy walking amidst all
Yeah.
the people who are cycling, like something like that. Like you have to kind of like make it a bit more, got to a bit more of a story, and just make it more dramatic than what it probably is. Maybe these things happen all the time, and you just happen to be there, and you have to make sure that if you're going to be able to actually do that and think like what you can do at that moment, but you have to make sure that whoever looks at it thinks first, like, oh, there's a guy walking on a bicycle race. Like, how weird is that? And you have to be able to actually do that beautifully. And this is quite, well, it's like a half-assed way, no? It's really, and he's also coming from an angle. He's not really directly behind him either, huh? It's
No.
probably for the still.
Yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
you have to be way more careful in things like in pictures like this where there isn't, I don't know, the aesthetics matter. So the content of the picture, like what's going on, whether it's a great play or whether it's a dramatic moment or something like that, those are all important. But the lower on the scale those things are, like the less action there is, the less drama there is, the less you can see the drama, the more careful you have to be about every single thing else that's going on in the picture. And in both of these pictures, it didn't happen.
Moving on. No, it's whatever. I'm okay.
Yeah, this doesn't help that it's a vertical. It would be better if it was horizontal and there was space and there was more guys, right? And then that the space in between the top of the frame where his hands are and the heads of the other guys, that would make him stand out more than it does now. the way it is, he's getting sucked into the background too much, I think. I mean, this isn't going to be a great picture
Mm,
one way or the other because, there's no drama going on. Like I mean, they don't look anything like they're really happy. I mean, it's just kind of whatever. Like the guy on
it's
the
a
right
bad
doesn't even
moment,
look like he played.
Yeah, it's kind of
But
like a
I
bad.
would.
Go ahead.
It just looks
Sorry.
like it's squeezed. It just looks like it's squeezed in there in the
Yeah.
vertical, and I would prefer this as the horizontal.
I mean, like I said, it's okay because like it's okay. Like I'm not gonna say yes or no. I mean, I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't. If I shot a picture like this, let's just make it that way. I wouldn't put it up on Instagram because I just find it's like I've seen these pictures bazillions of times. And yeah, sure. Like if you just started doing these things, that was fine. Like you got the shot. But like Matt said, it's not like he's smiling. It's not like everybody is really excited about something. There's just like expression's quite dead. And I'm sure like because the fact that they're doing that, maybe they're just like going that towards the fans to say thank you for supporting, which probably is the case. But then you look at the picture and you have to ask yourself, was this a good moment? What you shot, was it a good moment? Was it an interesting moment? And does it actually show? Because by looking at this, it doesn't really show. It's just like, just clapping towards the supporters in the stands, and that's it. That's it. There's nothing more to it. Then does that picture mean anything? Because the fact like I'm not gonna, have to like you cannot force me to read if this is a very significant moment and you had this picture and I'm forced to like read a caption first and appreciate the fact you got this thing, like I wouldn't at all. And we've seen these things so many times, like let it be some like that what was it, not the Sony Award but the World Press Award gave that the catch by Odell Beckham Jr. the Giants and for American football that actually won a prize, like second prize or something, just because it was a great moment. Not the picture was good, and that's not good. That's not good at all. Like you gotta be able to like make sure like the picture itself actually tells a story and it's a significant one that people want to know more. I mean, if it's okay that if you're gonna read the caption like after they see the picture because they want to know more about it because it's such a great picture, but it isn't, which sucks. So the picture sucks in a way.
You
So
just, at the end of it, you have to ask yourself, what's the picture about? And then you have to figure out, did you do justice to that? So if they're celebrating, then it's a celebration picture. Then does it actually look like they're celebrating? Does it look like you're caught in the middle? And that's like the worst place to be. And we see this all the time where he's, yes, celebrating, but he's not losing his shit. He's also not bleeding out of his eyeballs and so tired he can barely lift his arms to celebrate. Like that's where you want to be. You're in the middle here. He looks bored, like yeah, it's a celebration picture where nobody looks particularly happy that they're celebrating. And even if you went to the other extreme, they don't look like they particularly left it all out on the field either. So you want to look in those extremes. You cannot get trapped in the middle.
and moving on from Anatoly to that's much better. That's much more dramatic. I like the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, good things happen when you get close. That people, I don't know why. This was the easiest lesson for me to learn. Like somebody told me, my mentor said, you're too far away. Stop using a wide angle lens to try to fit everything in. Get as close as you possibly can, and then back off if you need to. That was the easiest lesson because all I had to do is go back and look at the pictures that I took that were close and the pictures that I look at that were far. And that's like the first thing that when I go somewhere new or when I go somewhere that I've been before that I'm not happy with what I did, I figure out, how can I use this space or this access that I have to get closer to what I'm shooting? And this certainly doesn't need to be here. This is a really good picture.
Mm.
And this is a good example to everything else that's going on. Get as close as you can And then if there's a reason to back up from that, then back up. It's not the opposite. It's not stand far away and then figure out if you need to get closer. That is the exact wrong thinking, because the result of that is never going to be you're going to end up getting close enough. You have to get closer and then back up from there.
But I think people get way too happy shooting from afar, no, with a big lens, right? I think they get like just a kick out of it, that they just forget to like move their feet to actually get physically closer, you know? So I don't understand why people don't want to do that.
I just don't, I say this, I don't know, once an episode or something like that. You just have to get closer. I have a choice, like for when I shoot rodeo. I shoot rodeo because I can get close. I prefer shooting rodeo to everything else because of how close I can get to everything that I'm shooting. And I don't need to use a long lens. Like I just went to one of the biggest rodeos that I shoot all year, and I didn't even take my 400 with me, because I can use the axis that I have there to get close enough that I don't need it. Could I have taken my 400 and shot from the fence? Yeah, I definitely could have done that. But, I didn't struggle to get the access that I have to do that, so, am I going to shoot bull riding and, get as close as I can without killing myself? Yes, I'm going to do that because the pictures are just going to be better. That's it. Get closer. That said, this picture doesn't need to be here, and that should be fairly obvious, I think, to everybody.
Roman Kalinowski.
These are just, this is just stock action. You're not trying anything. You're not risking anything. Like, this is not a training ground kind of picture. You're obviously at this level, so let's see something better than this.
I got nothing to add for that one. I like it. I like the little. I mean, I wish it was a bit. Now, I mean, if I'm gonna nitpick, I wish it was a bit more like to the right, so every action is actually within the goal, between the goalposts, because that would be just great. Like, you don't get symmetry like this very often. You really don't.
This is like,
and I love these.
I don't know if it's like a Twitter or an Instagram or something, but there's some kind of account for photographs. No, photographs that look like Renaissance paintings or something. And so they'll just be like weird lighting and people in oldish kind of outfits and like they're peasants or something like that. This kind of looks like that, in that the way that those guys are kind of battling for position in there looks like, it doesn't look like a sports picture. It looks like, like a street fight or something like that, like a protest or whatever. And I like how they're both, like, this is good that he noticed that, this is definitely a better picture than the other one. Like, he had to notice that there are two pairs of guys that are fighting and there's a goalie that's getting ready for it. He got unlucky because of the angle. It's not as much that it's contained in the goal, it's that it's not straight on. Like, this picture would have been better if he had been closer to the goal. Yeah, on his side. I don't know what the axis is like there, but that, that's all part of it. Like, figure it out. When you're shooting we talk about the awkward kind of 3/4 behind angle where you really want it either directly behind or directly on the side. Those things matter, and they're really the shot either needs to overcome that, or you need to be that way so that there's a better background or something. There isn't a better background here, and it looks awkward because it's at that 3/4 kind of angle. But other than that, I mean, it is interesting, like the way that those that the forwards and the defenders, I don't know what the positions are in this, but the way that they're kind of battling for position is good, and it's symmetrical, and having the goalie there is good. But you're just getting a little bit unlucky because of the angle and because of where the goal is.
I mean, it's one of those things you kind of have to decide beginning of the match to say, okay, I'm going to get as close to the goal as possible, because I want, if things like this happens, or you want to basically have everything dead on center, you have to be to the goal. You have to be as close to the goal as possible, because the further you go away from the goal, the more angle you're going to have, which doesn't really do anything to have any sort of symmetrical type of images. And but if you do that, that means that if you basically like say that you're sitting to the right of the goal, that means that like to the right goal post of the goal, like right next to it. That means everything else to the left is completely blocked by the goal, so you can't do anything. Um, in a game like handball where there's a lot of goals involved, I'd say do it because I think it's absolutely worth it to have one in a million chance of something an action like this that is completely almost symmetrical. One guy going to the right, one guy going to the left, and the goal. Let's imagine the goalie right in the middle of all that. It would just been absolutely. I was just perfect. And if I mean, I don't know if it's ever going to happen again, but if you can get that, if you get a shot like that, then you can just kind of move away to whichever position you want to do later. This also becomes a bit more problematic if you are doing something like some with less goals, let's say like hockey, or let's say like soccer, no, like football, because there's so few goals, and if you are planning to basically cover the entire match, the worst place probably is to be right next to the goal. But when there really are a lot of opportunities of action involved in scoring a goal or bucket or whatever it is, like handball or like basketball, it's really worth it to really risk it to take shots, to get shots that you really want to get, because you can always switch places.
The risk is it. The risk, that's where it lives. I think we're gonna have to delve a little bit deeper into this in a podcast, but the best pictures are going to come when you risked not getting the picture. If you're just out there, standing where you're supposed to stand and making sure that nobody's going to be in your way, and the highest likelihood of getting a picture or something like that, the probability of getting a great picture just goes down. But when you're risking not getting the picture for the perfect picture, you're going to miss some, but that's when it's more likely that you're going to get something. And I think that's something that we're going to have to talk about.
Yeah. It's all or nothing, Moving on. But he's not yelling. I don't see he's complaining, but there's no passion. There is no emotion. That's a no-no. That's absolute no-no. It's just a fucking guy talking to another guy. Looks like that. You don't want that. I'm assuming what you wanted was the guy was complaining to the referee. But why do I have to think that much? They don't let me think. Let me. I can do Bruce Lee. Like, let me feel. I have to feel the picture and not have to think about it. Let me just see immediately what's going on and say, boom, okay. Wow, he's fucking pissed off.
Yeah. And some players don't give it up. Some players, will hit a home run and, just trot around the bases, while other ones will flip their bat. I don't care to see the ones where they, where they don't give it up. It's boring, and you're asking us to spend time looking at this picture. And what are we looking at? I don't even know who this guy is. He is, obviously he's unhappy, but it's not like aesthetic or anything. Like, he's not, you can't see him screaming. You can't see spit flying out of his face. Like, this is too easy of a picture for there to be nothing to look at in it. That's really what it comes down to. So what do we have? A portrait with a 400. That's really all it is. Like, there's nothing else going on here.
Okay, moving on. I think Simon should be beyond this now at this point. Like, I don't understand why he's giving us shit pictures like this. I don't understand. But you know better, that you can do better than this. Like, we're expecting a lot more from you than this. Like, this is really like the last picture and this picture, like, it's super, like, it's subpar. It's binnable. Like, you should just bin it. Just move on. You should aspire to do better than this, Simon West. Like that. That's a lot more interesting. It's a lot more interesting. and sun always helps.
Mm,
And having the sun
mm.
directly smack in you,
I like the idea of this better than the actual execution.
yeah, but it's much better,
The
you know.
it's yeah, I don't know. Does it say? Can you scroll down? Does it say what kind of camera you're shooting with? No.
Mm, no, this is digital camera.
All right. Because my camera doesn't look like that when like this looks like a camera phone. You know, like the sensor couldn't handle the sun. Like usually pro cameras can do that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here,
What, the
but
sunburst? Like it's too.
yeah, it's like the ragged edge around it. Like the burst itself is good, but the inside where it's white, like where it just pegged it to 100%, and then the gold around that looks really jagged. It doesn't matter. Like it was a good idea. The execution of it, I think, it was just too bright or too overexposed. Maybe I don't know.
Hmm. Because the thing is, like, if it was completely like silhouetted, it would look really, really weird. Because I didn't,
Yeah.
you know, the fact that
No,
there's a
I'm
building in the
just
background, no?
this is like a technical kind of thing, not a like like how he did this is fine. Like the instinct was there, but aesthetically, the way that the interior of the sun in there is not pleasing at all.
Hmm. I
So
don't care that much.
that's
I care much about the fact that there's a fucking building in the background that blocks the whole thing. Because it doesn't help at all. Like, for instance, like if he'd actually like shot it, so let's say like he basically moved up a bit, like move up the frame up more,
yeah,
so you can only see the sun and the hands and the thing. Maybe,
yeah,
maybe, you know. But to me, like that building in the back, I think part of the stadium is so like distracting that like after I see the sun, it goes immediately like my eyes go immediately to the building, and it's like, oh fuck, it just destroys everything. Um, yeah, but it's much better thinking,
yeah. It is
you
better.
know? Yeah. Yeah, so there's a question from Mikhail. There's a question comes with a picture. If the stand is empty every match, should I restrict myself from taking wide angle shots? No.
No,
No, why? I I I I would have been even interested like if it was even less people for me. Like I don't really mind that much empty stadiums. Do you?
no, no. I don't. I mean, I shoot half of what I shoot in rodeo is empty. Because they have the qualifying during the day, and there's like 5 or 10% of the arena is full. So that it doesn't stop me. I mean, sometimes I'll use the empty bleachers as um, as a background for it. Sometimes I don't, but um, this this wouldn't be any better or worse. I mean, I guess it would be better if it was completely full and they were all waving flags and throwing smoke bombs or something like that. But
Mm,
it doesn't mean it's not a good picture. I think this is a good picture.
yeah, I don't really mind. I like the stadium is actually shaped in a very very nice way. You kind of got it, you know.
Yeah, and the distortion from the wide angle makes it look
Yeah,
cooler, I think.
it's fine, you know.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, this is okay.
Mm,
It's part of risking it means having background and foreground and having something that might possibly mess it up. When you just go into subject and blank background, then again the picture has to be even
superb.
better. There has to be something more, because what you're saying is it just ends up being like well, I mean, take it to its logical conclusion. If this had been a silhouette, would this have been enough? Probably not. Like
Mm,
it's not interesting enough. He's not doing enough. It would have just been, a dark shape on a white background. So when you bring resolution into who it is and what's going on and the color and everything, then it needs to be better to make up for the fact that there's nothing else going on. So what could you do differently? Well, if it was tighter, if it was like super tight on part of the glove and his eyes and part of his hat and then part of the ball, that would have been more interesting. If there had been some kind of background that you could have used to frame him, that would have been more interesting. But just having the blank, having a busy background is bad, but having a blank background can also be bad. Like, I'd prefer to have the blank one than a busy one, but there still has to be, in the blank one, there still has to be something good going on. Otherwise, it's just too easy. You're not risking anything.
I wish the composition was a bit more different. Like it's such a like in the middle, like I just got the dude in the middle doing his stuff, and like it always like it really irks me to no end because I try to do different backgrounds and of different composition, and I think you could have done a lot more with this in a
The
situation
the
like
thing
this.
is, in the bar is always going to be higher on baseball pitchers, especially because even in the little leagues or whatever, they're still going to throw 50 pitches in a game, and that means you
Same
can
motion,
take
huh?
you can get exactly what it's going to be if you need to have that regular action picture in the first two batters, and then you can do absolutely anything else for the whole rest of the time. I want to see you risking not getting a picture for getting something good.
Mm.
Just it's not something that's rare. It's not it's not a race car flipping end over end while it's on fire. You might get that once every 4 seasons or something like that. Like, this guy's gonna throw the ball in the same exact way 50 times at least in the same game. In a pro game, it could be 100 times, right? So it doesn't one pitch doesn't it does not matter. Like, the caption isn't going to say on this pitch he gave up a home run, or on this pitch he got his 1,000th strikeout or something like that. If he gave up a home run, it's not going to be the pitch. It's going to be him looking down and throwing the rosin bag or something. And if he got his 300th strikeout of his career, whatever it is, um, he's going to be jumping up and down and happy or something. Like, the actual pitch, devoid of any other context, you only need one of, because it just the rest of it doesn't matter. You've got the pitch, you've got your stock picture from the game, move on to something completely different. And a white background isn't different enough.
How did he get that background?
It's low enough that, and a long
There's a
enough lens
sky.
that, yeah.
Hmm. That I really want to know. Like, I'm really like, I was wondering, like,
It's
how
not
the
that
fuck do you actually get it?
it's
Just
not
like
that
black.
hard, in a park that is in a flat. I think Jim lives in Ohio, which is flat. There's not a whole lot of hills going on, so you just
Hmm.
shoot with a long lens and get low, and as long as you get over the fence, there's a pretty good chance there's not going to be anything there.
Hmm. Okay. A bit mystery to me. Like, what I hate about this photo is that it's not like it's not like he's about to do something. Like, he's just this. Like, I hate the stance. I really just hate it. Like,
Yeah.
and everything is like
I mean, we were just
it's like
talking
fucking
about
wrestling or
silhouettes like a
something, you
couple of
know?
pictures
Yeah.
ago, and the everything has to work. Like, look how his, I guess it's his left hand, runs into his face. So there's no separation between them, and there's no separation between either of the hands because they're right together. And then the angle that he's at, and that he's not actually swinging the bat's just resting on his shoulder. Um, yeah, this is in the light isn't this isn't the right light that you would want for a silhouette, again, unless there was something pretty crazy happening.
Duh.
I like that he's trying it, but
Mm.
this is there are um there are times for this. Like, the silhouette is when there's actually really good light. What you're doing is, you're just darkening the subject, and then you just have like a random hazy, cloudy kind of sky behind it. Like, it's not super blue and it's not gold. It's just there, kind of. Um,
Yeah, but like
And
it's
the
just, you know.
yeah, it's really at the end of it, it's not a sports picture. Like the sports picture is you're trying to show athleticism or the equipment or something like that. And this is like when you have somebody who's just standing there and just holding the bat on his shoulder like that, it really starts to not be a sports picture anymore.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like it's like I mean, I don't like listen. I don't mind the background as much as Matt does. I really just do mind the fact that if you've gone this far, like you can just just wait for him to do other stuff. Like I just cannot believe like you decide like last minute like I'm gonna get a silver picture, put the setting back to normal, and like wait for him to hit. Like that's just dumb. The fact that like in baseball the batter's gonna go up like what 3 times, 4 times, maybe 3 times, a game, and let's say he's gonna swing the ball, I don't know, at least 3, 4 times, maybe at least, huh? And you could just like say, you know what, fuck it. If he's gonna,
Well,
have a home run, he's
this
gonna have
he's
a
not.
home run.
He's on deck. This isn't. He's not getting ready to hit. I don't think.
No, the pitcher's not. Yeah. Then don't they usually like fucking swing the bat a couple of times?
Yeah.
Like they do, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that like if the dugout is at a certain position, the batter who's up next are usually swinging the same place, and you have that sky in front of you and you're doing the silhouette thing. It blows my mind. If you're there for the entire game, you cannot get a shot that looks better than this. And that to me is crazy. And that's the best one you could get. That's just bonkers. But you could do better than this. Like, you could do so much better than this, and that's crazy, man. I've shot something similar to this with different managers because like when they're in the dugout or like when on the bench, you can have these shadows over the eyes, which I like. But there has to be some kind of like a cool thing that's going on with the whole thing. And just because of the fact that his eyes are covered, and I hate that color of the bench player's bib thing. Like it really destroys me to no end. Like I hate that. And there just has to be something better you can do with the situation. And it's just oh my god.
That's tough. Yeah, those bibs.
Oh,
Those bibs are
so
tough.
ugly.
Yeah. The funny
It's
thing
not
is
pleasing to the
that
eye.
the NFL used to give out red vests for photographers, and then I don't know why. I guess somebody complained, either TV or like a photo agency or something, and they switched them to be tan.
Mm,
But when they did that, they left the official, like the team photographers, as fluorescent yellow. And
mm,
over the years, the number of people that get the fluorescent yellow ones has increased. So there's just more and more likelihood. Like the fluorescent yellow is worse than the red is, even. So it just ends up being a mess. So I know what you're saying. I don't mind this quite as much as you do, but I don't like where it cuts off on the bottom. I wish there had been more. Um, I wish there had been more. I don't mind this at all.
ugh. Because my eyes go directly there. It doesn't go anywhere else though.
I
It
just
just
don't
fucking
like. I just don't like how it cuts off on the bottom. I think that
ugh.
if he hadn't been wearing that and it was the black warm up, then those logos would have been floating in nothing, and that would have looked even more awkward, I think. But as it
No, to me
is,
it's so
I
fucking weird.
just
Oh.
it sucks that he was wearing it. It sucks that he wasn't, wearing the jersey or something like that. But um, I enjoy the creativity involved, and like because the thing is, a lot of people would just kind of scan by this and say, "Oh, it's too dark. There's no light getting on the top of his head," and I don't like the color of the vest, and just walk by it. And I think Kevin, more than really anybody else, shoots all of these things. I think that you can find, not only can you find things that work, even if this one doesn't work as well, but you can kind of train yourself to see other things that may work better than this. And if you just kind of scan around and you're eliminating a lot of the things in there and you don't shoot them.
Oh,
then
Alvaro's here, by the way.
yeah.
Alvaro, can you hear us? Hello? Alvaro?
Wait.
Ah. See, this is good, huh?
I wasn't expecting that you can hear me. So, okay.
You just wanted to see it faster than before it got posted.
It's too late.
Yeah.
We talked about your photo already.
Oh, it's fine. I just arrived home. I want to hear it anyway. So.
All right. Well, at least it works. We'll have to give people more notice the next time.
Yeah, I think it's actually good. Like, I think it will be nice to be able to for people to actually come in, and we were just saying that it would be nice for people to come in and maybe defend their picture if they really want to defend their picture.
Yeah, I like the idea because there
Or
were a few posts before, like a few training grounds before, that there were some people that were like giving their idea of the picture and why they were doing that. And I think you didn't read it or something like that. And it's good that someone can defend the picture like that, like giving their thoughts about the picture and why they do the lighting or something like that.
yeah, no, I agree.
Sorry about my English, by the way.
No.
No,
It's okay.
it's no problem. Ryu doesn't have very good English either.
Yeah, my English sucks, so it's okay. I'm really sorry about that. No, it's absolutely like I think it's we do actually say like, you know, the effort makes no difference to us unless you're trying something new and you basically want an honest criticism as to what you wanted to do in that picture. It's fine. We can just give you pointers and things like that. But if the picture is shit, like it's always going to be shit, no matter how much effort you've actually put into it.
Yeah.
But what Alvaro was saying is absolutely right. Like I think it'll be really interesting. Like, it will add a bit more dimension to training ground in itself. And can you imagine like if everyone basically comes on at the same time, like 10 people, and they're all bitching about like why their photos are actually deemed crap by us? It'd be interesting as well.
Maybe is
Go
there
ahead.
any chance that you can cancel the voice of other people, so people just type and
No, we'll
because
just probably have to call on people.
Yeah, so we would say, okay, no, you guys everyone shut up. Okay, Alvaro talk. We like that,
yeah, because if 5 people try to talk at the same time, it can be a really
Yeah.
disaster.
Yeah.
No, it won't be very, very good. And we
All
already
right,
have
well,
difficult time anyway,
Yeah. Just in time for the very last picture.
Yeah, all right. Let's see.
Ugh.
All right, you know what, Alvaro? I'll give you a go on this one.
no,
So you guys-
don't do me.
Yep. Yep. Come on, let's hear it.
All right, Alvaro, what do you think about this one?
Okay, I think it's an accidental photo, maybe. And after seeing it in the screen or the computer or something like that, he liked it, but he didn't try to get that, I think.
Yeah, it's just like the autofocus went from the player to the ball, maybe.
And it's not in focus.
No, this is just a disaster. This is really a disaster from top to bottom because it's not composed at all. It's not straight. And I could see a version of this working if the ball was still closer to the player and in focus. And if the player was following through on a kick or something, then that would be okay. But that guy in the black jersey being cut off like that is just terrible. It's just terrible. And nothing like, I don't like these, I caught the baseball in flight and you can see the seams are in focus and the pitcher's out of focus. Like, I don't care about those pictures. I don't understand what the purpose of them is. Like, after the first person figured it out, I don't get it. And this kind of is the same as that, but it's worse because of how the players are. Like, the one guy is almost completely blended into the background and the guy in the black is on the edge of it, and then it's not straight and it's not in focus.
It's a shitty picture. I'm sorry. It's a horrendous picture. It should be in a bit. Like, honestly, like, why? It's not even focus. Like, that's what really pisses me off. It's like,
I think Alvaro is right that it was an accident, and there are definitely accidents that end up working out. I think we all have them, but this would be a good time for Tony to be on here, because I would like to know like what he was thinking about, because this is just so bad that I don't understand what the point of it is.
Alvaro, like I think, well, I just thought about this, but like I think whoever actually comes on, I think it would be nice for you to introduce yourself. If you want to have like a Instagram handle that you want to actually say, or Twitter, you're more than welcome to say it, because I think it's actually good for people to be able to, if they want to follow your work and things like that as well, So please introduce yourself, where you're from, and where people can actually follow your work.
Okay, so my name is Álvaro Campo. I'm from Spain, northern Spain, a small city called Oviedo. And I've been doing sport photography for, I don't know, maybe 7 years, 8 years. Mostly typical newspaper pictures. I don't know how to say it in English. Like,
no, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
Okay. And I think, okay, I can. You can find me here in Instagram, Flickr, or Twitter by the same name. It's well, I can I cannot type here, right?
No. No.
It's like, the account is my name, but the first letter is A from Alvaro, and then Campo.
So it's at ACAMPO.
Yeah, and then photo, PHOTO.
So it's at ACAMPO, FOTO or PHOTO? FOTO?
No. In English, PH.
Okay, so I'll do it again then. At ACAMPO PHOTO, and that's Alvaro Campo. And no, this is fun. I think we should do this more often.
Yeah, we need to give people more notice, I think.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just thought about it just like right before I got in touch with Matt today. It's like, it'll be really fun to be able to actually have people actually call in. And because I think for this, like the whole Big Lens Faster to work, like it really is people like Alvaro, who has been actually with us for a long time. And like, yeah, I mean, he enjoys coming. I mean, he enjoys actually putting up the pictures on our Flickr group page. And because it's a community-based thing, we ask people we ask money for people from the community, but obviously money's money. But it's really based on like what you guys actually put in. You can actually get more out of it. So we will make this into a regular thing. Because I was also thinking of like what we can actually do to kind of make the entire like the podcast as well as training ground a bit better. And I think this is actually a good thing.
Probably if you can say it in the group, like in 7 days, 6 days, something like that, we will record it or put it on live.
Yeah,
probably
I think we'll definitely do that. Yeah.
People can join.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll do that.
Great. Yeah. Thank you, Alvaro. Thank you. No, I'm so surprised because I was talking to Matt about it like before, now right after we started. It's like, I did this, but I doubt no one's gonna really come in, So that's good. I'm just very pleasantly surprised. That's it for today. Don't go Alvaro yet. I'm just gonna stop the broadcast. But thank you very much for joining us. This is Big Lens Fast Shutter, run by me and Matt Cohen. If you want to know more about us, please go to biglensfastshutter.com. That's BIGLENS. I can do it. biglensfastshutter.com. This is a sports photography podcast and video where we basically try to make you a better sports photographer. Thank you for joining, Alvaro, and I will see you guys all next month. If I can stop this, I will do that. Thanks and goodbye.